Right, you guys, welcome into Mindset Monday, October 22nd, 2025. We are going to be talking about self-doubt this day here because this is one of the things that are holding us, sometimes holding us behind, keeping us from catapulting into our very best self because each step of the way we're doubting that life is about a process. Every step you're not going to do perfect. Every step you take, it will not be a perfect step, but it has to be a step. But sometimes, because we're trying to do everything right, be perfect, make sure everything is the right. Am I making the right move? And I get it. Sometimes people think life is like chess, and in ways that it is. But sometimes you got to have some checkmates so that you can learn. So I want to talk to you all about the importance of getting away from self doubt. So welcome, my cute girls. And today, when we're listening to this, I need you to understand that I'm talking and speaking to your inner voice, your inner subconscious. So today, we're going to talk about self doubt, that inner voice that keeps trying to rob you of your confidence and of your future and of your best self. So I want you to do one thing. If you don't do anything else today, I want you to blindly fall in love with yourself, flaws and all. Because what you may be perceiving as a flaw may be somebody else's blessing. What you may be perceiving that's not wonderful, it may be the best thing that somebody else ever had. So stop robbing yourself of your consciousness by self doubting each step in your journey. So blindly fall in love with yourself. All of the self doubt that you're telling yourself was planted inside of you, usually by somebody else, either a parent, a sibling, a spouse, a lover, even it could be a friend. But it didn't start with you. Usually, the most critical people are the most hurt people. So instead of being angry with them, have some compassion and some empathy. Because the truth is, somebody embedded and planted doubt and fear and uncertainty and hurt inside of them. So a lot of times, self doubt and trauma is passed down. If you look back, some of the things that your mom or dad is most afraid of, you are too. So know that a lot of times hurt and trauma are passed down, and you have to say, I'm gonna break that chain. If you have kids, you can say, you know what, I am not going to pass this down into my kids by being critical of them, by making them feel so imperfect that every step of the way they got to question, they got to doubt all of their ability to choose. Because that was one of the things that my aunt used to get on my mom a lot, because my mouth would be so honest. My aunt said, either you want her to be an honest person or you want her to be a liar. Choose. So same thing with if you're passing things down. Don't be critical of your children if you don't want them to be critical. Don't say crazy things to them that they can't unhear. I was just talking about this with my neighbor last night. I don't argue because, like I say, I'm good at it. But what I know is that you can't unring a bell. When you open your mouth and assassinate someone's character, their heart, their mind, their spirit, they never come back from it. They always remember it. No, because people remember the bad things. If somebody walk up to you and say, "Oh, you look beautiful today," you will say thank you, you will move on, and you will forget that somebody even said that to you. But if somebody walked up to you and said, "Oh, you ugly," you would get on the phone and be like, "Can you believe this person was walking by me? They didn't even know me. They called me ugly." You will get on the phone and broadcast the negative, but you won't say nothing but thank you and be passe about when somebody says something good to you. So, with that being said, we have to understand that self doubt, look at the root of the self doubt and then change it. Change it, break that chain and say, you know what? I'm going to stop second guessing everything. Now, self worth is integrity, self worth is your ceiling. So you can only rise as high as your self worth. You can only go as high as your self worth. So that's the reason why it's important for you to get it up. That's why it's important to you for you to find the root cause of what's bothering you. You'll never earn more because you don't believe that you're worthy of more. You'll never have the healthy relationship or and some people don't believe that they deserve it. That's why sometimes too you'll see people make so many excuses about and have all of these crazy requirements because secretly doubt and fear is telling them, well, you too this, you don't deserve that. You don't have this, you don't deserve that. That's why I always and later Pam, I'll tell you about that. We most of the time when we were in the mortgage industry, we did not get the jobs, the contracts, because we were the most qualified. We was bold enough to say, I have 5 years of underwriting when you know you ain't never been nothing but a process. But if I waited on somebody to open the door, if I waited on somebody to believe in my abilities more than me, sometimes you have to open the door yourself. And it don't necessarily mean you got to kick it in. See, God often will put you in a position and you don't have to kick the door in. A lot of y'all is standing in front of the doors of opportunities, but your self-doubt has it where you won't even just turn the knob. That's all you had to do. We submitted a resume and the doors was open. Now, did we have to get in there and learn stuff on the fly? Yes. Was it worth it? Oh, yes. So you'll never have these healthy relationships. And some of you all can relate. It's easier to avoid relationships altogether than to trust your own choices or your ability to choose. But when you trace it back to its root cause, it could be family history, childhood trauma, lessons, loss, fear, and you realize none of these define you anymore. Once I learned my root cause of a lot of the things when it came to relationships, right now I'm not in a position to prioritize it. But when it comes, I'll be better at it than I've ever been because I've done a lot of the work. Now, rebuilding your work and setting clear boundaries, that is what most people's biggest problems. I'm not sitting here telling you to be a hard ass, but I am saying stop just be walking around green lighting. Y'all let people run all over you. Even a traffic light got boundaries. Why you can't have none? A traffic light say stop. When you see it, you automatically know you gonna stop. Because you know what? If you run a red light, you know that there is 9 times out of 10 consequences. Sometimes you're going to get away with it, but sometimes you're going to get that little ticket in the mail. Sometimes you're going to get them blue lights behind you. And you choose, oh, yeah, a caution light, yellow. Oh, let me slow down. Green light. But a lot of y'all operating and are giving people green lights in your life who do not deserve it, who has not earned it. You deserve the very best that life has to offer. But when you walk in each step of the way in self doubt, how can God even bless you when you gonna doubt the blessing? How can God reward you, give you opportunities if you gonna keep doubting the blessing? You deserve better love. You deserve better opportunities. You deserve better people. You're not perfect, and neither are they. But it is not unfair to ask for the very best in a person. And if that person does not have the ability because they're still walking in their own growth, it is okay for you to walk away in love because your journey is your journey and you deserve the very best that life has to offer. And if someone is contradictory to that, it's okay to release them. And you don't have to blow up the spot, just release them. And the people you choose, their basic core foundation needs to be rooted in goodness, kindness, respect, the ability to communicate, and commitment. Your self worth shows up in your boundaries. I said, even take it even a step further. Your self worth is rooted and it shows up in your unapologetic, unwavering boundaries. Some things need to be a hard stop. And again, I'm not saying demand what is unreasonable. Don't be out there with that chili. Oh, he can't eat bacon. What? Like it's your girl? It ain't your digestive system. What's wrong with you? What? What? The person just needs to be a good person in any aspect of your life. Do not accept less than the basic respect, care, and kindness and partnership. Especially if it's romantic or even if it's business, because the integrity has to be there. Even the habits you accept it reveals your worth. Sometimes increasing your worth may be mean you're gonna have to let go some unhealthy habits, poor choices, and even poor foods that secretly destroy you. Let me tell y'all, that's been one of my battles because my neighbor, I had made chicken noodle soup. Something just said make it. I did. I took my neighbor some. Um, well, come lo and behold, my neighbor we was feeling sick, so I gave him a bowl of the soup. And he said, "You cooked this from scratch? I thought this was Campbell's." And I said to him, I said, I've been getting better about cooking in the house. I just because it's just better. So even that, because it's much easier and it's also a lot of time cheaper in ways for me to just go get me something real quick. But do I know what's in it? Do I know what kind of oils is it cooked in? Do I know if it's this? And then I don't fry in my house because I don't want grease in my furniture. So if I'm in my house, I'm not going to eat anything fried. So sometimes we have to let go of some things that aren't serving us well. And to increase your self worth, you may have to let go of what's making you feel unworthy. And I'm not going to tell you it's not going to be painful because it's painful. You think it's going to be easy for me to go past a churches with a two-piece, with a pepper and some fried okra, but it's necessary because that's not good for me. It doesn't serve me well. And a lot of times chicken just doesn't, even though my blood type says it's a neutral, but for me, it does not digest well. So sometimes you're gonna have to let go of something that's painful. Same thing. I would weigh a size two if I did not eat sweets because I don't eat a big portions. So sometimes to increase your self-worth, you're gonna have to let some things go. It may be food, it may be alcohol, it may be family and friends, it may be children, it may be even jobs. Because if it's destroying your worth, it has to go. And don't leave out a spouse. You don't even look right in that. You looking fat. Oh, where you going in that? What you just let yourself go. And it's usually, again, it'll be a raggedy man telling you you done let yourself go. As he's standing there with a belly that look like he in his third trimester, and he wears C cup. Sometimes you got to look at the messenger. Because a lot of times the messenger is hurting. And it'll be the person that's closest to you that will try to tear you down out of selfishness, out of greed, out of out of out of envy, out of hurt and pain. So you may have to let some things go. And it may be something that you perceive to be important. It may even be something you perceive that you cannot live without. And I know when I said children, I'm talking about them grown ones. It's time for you to fly, Sugarfoot. But I'm going to tell y'all, on the other side of letting go is often a rainbow. After the storm, you'll be stronger and healed. On the other side of a rainbow, I want y'all to think about when you watch a rainbow, you get a sudden peace over you. And sometimes you be like, well, wait a minute, how does that come? Because when you look at a rainbow, you're looking at God's miracles. We can't make no rainbow. Even though I know Lucky Charms think he can, but we can't. Now let's talk facing demons. Sometimes you're going to have to sit with the boogeyman. Whatever it is that scares you the most. If you got to sit in your closet, why y'all think I told y'all need y'all to make them peace closets? That one space in your house that you can go to as refuge. Sit in there. And I want you to look at the top three things that scare you and set out a plan to overcome it. Because the biggest obstacles usually are in our minds, not in the reality. So if you got to sit there, face them demons head on, and ask yourself, if I keep holding on to this habit, or if I keep holding on to this relationship, or if I keep on holding on to this addiction, because a lot of people are addicted to being mistreated. A lot of people are addicted to some people. A lot of people are in love with their oppressor. Sit there in those demons and say, if I stay here in this space and time, is it going to make me better or is it going to make me worse? Or is it going to have me where I am stagnant and it's going to stunt my growth? And once you strip the negative thoughts, the negative thinking, the negative people, the negative ideologies, the mind movies that you created about something that is going to happen. A lot of times we fearful of stuff. Let's just say the first day you get a new job, the first day you over there worried. Well, is this gonna be this? Da 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 da. Oh, I'm gonna have to deal with this. Gonna be some bitch up in there. And I'm gonna have to deal with da 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 da. You didn't already created a negative scenario, and you didn't already set yourself up to attract the horrible person that you had at the last job. She just gonna have a different face or a different outfit, but it's going to be the same nonsense because you ushered it in before you walked in the door. So you're going to have to start protecting your head space. You're going to have to protect your subconscious mind, which means you got to speak to it sweet. You got to be sweet to your mindset. You're going to have to protect your energy. If people around you are negative, constantly speaking doubt, it's okay for you to love them from a distance. And I know we got a whole bunch of the little podcast bros telling women to choose better. Choose better. I'm not gonna even disagree with it. Choose better. But it's gonna upset some people, even them little podcast bros, because they'll never be chosen. Because a lot of the people who are spewing that demonic nonsense, because that's what it is, the devil is the author of confusion. So raise your standards of who you listening to, what podcast you listening to, what people that you listening to, what situations you in, what rooms you walk in, what places you go, how you even have your home. I tell you flat out, you can't come up in here and raise your voice. It's a place of peace. It's peaceful in here. What you raising your voice for? Now I'm gonna have to act like I'm gonna get you sucker. You can take the window or the stairs, but you're gonna get out of here. Which one you gonna take? Because I paid good money for them elevators. You can't come through the elevators. So you gotta raise your standards. I'm telling you, you'll never go no higher than your self-worth. If you think you're worthy of millions, that's the starting place of being a millionaire. I'm worthy of millions. I attract millions of dollars. I attract $1 million ideas. I attract $1 million people. I attract $1 million opportunities. I attract $1 million everything. If you think less of yourself, you're going to attract less. Less income, less love, less opportunities. So it's okay for you to raise your standard. And people going to talk about you. So what? Double F them. You know how many times I've been told I think I'm better than people? And if that's what you think, okay, you're correct. God is a God of yes. So, yes. If that's what you got to say, yeah. First of all, I don't have time to refute your nonsense because I got things to do. Normalize high self worth and practice it until it becomes second nature to you. And I know people don't like fake it till you make it, but sometimes you're not really faking it. You're practicing. I'm practicing millionaire. I'm practicing. You see, you don't see doctors stop. Don't open up. They practice. Why do you think it's called a practice? They practice medicine every day. That's why they get good at it. So you need to practice being good, practice being a millionaire, practice being self currency, practice great self worth, practice goodness, practice love, practice joy, practice kindness. Why y'all think I tell y'all to sow seeds into people? Go up to 10 people and just say, hi, how are you doing? Your dress is nice today. I like your earrings today. Your haircut is cute. You never know that those kind words could be the words that uplift somebody else's life. Somebody might have been ready to take their life, but you came and said something nice that may have jarred them to say, "Oh, I am worthy. Oh, I am beautiful. Oh, I do look nice." When they may have had somebody at the house telling them they was a fat bitch and they didn't look good, or they was a bald head, or they was ugly, or they was black, or they was whatever. So when you came up and said, "Oh, your skin is glowing. Oh, your hair is nice. Oh, I like those nails," you just sow 10 seeds of kindness into a random strangers. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all, a lot of times it's gonna be rough with men. Because if you tell a man he got a nice smile, he gonna think you want to do it to him. And I'll be like, "Sir, that's not it. You just got a nice smile. That don't mean I want to lift my dress." So just make sure you be very cautious when if you sowing seeds of confidence and kindness into gentlemen. But train your mind with affirmations, new beliefs, and better habits. That's one of the things of my 2026. Yes, do I want to get to my monetary goals? But I also want to get to, because a lot of times this past year, I have neglected me because I have been prioritizing my business. I So 2026 is going to be about balance. What systems in place, what people in place that's going to be able to take things off of my plate so that I can stay in balance. You got to identify the root cause of the problem. So let's speaking of root cause. One of the biggest root causes and problems that a lot of us have is comparison. A lot of self-doubt comes from unresolved issues. Money can help you with a lot of things, but it doesn't heal all things. So remember, even while you comparing yourself to this person, "Oh, she a brick house, she a 36, 24, 36. Oh, she got this, she got long hair, she got a big ass and da 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 da. Oh, if I was had a little waist and da 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 da, I would be da 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 da." But you don't know what that lady done been through. She could have been essayed, she could be getting beat, she could be suffering from um mental illness. She could have a disease, debilitating disease, or something that you don't even know about. So stop comparing yourself when you don't even know what's going on, because that exterior is a shell. We don't know what's in there. I want y'all to understand that they said it in the Forrest Gump, but also like the candy from in the candy box for Valentine's Day, or even the donuts that got the filling in it. It looks so beautiful on the outside, them, especially the donuts. They didn't put the powder sugar on it and everything. And then you bite in it and all of that gushiness. And sometimes it tastes like cough syrup. And you just be like, "This is horrible." When you comparing yourself to some people, they look beautiful on the inside. But when you peel them layers back, you be like, I can't compare myself to that. And a lot of times we do it too with people that we love and we really like. I'll never forget. Me and my friend Tamiko went to an event that Ryan Cameron, and the Atlanta people know who he is. But I went to college with Ryan Cameron. So he had an event and I went, plus his cousin. We all went to West Georgia, but his cousin is one of my really closest friends. So we go to this event, and uh he had some kind of work event, and Young Jeezy was there, and it was a whole lot of other different people. But Motivation 103 is like my one of my favorite. I still, like, if I need to get a lot of work done, I will put that on and I be in there, hey. But when I met him, oh my God, he was nasty, and he was just unkind. And I don't and then but thought about it when I played it back. He's still human. I don't know what was happening behind the day. Also, he had bodyguards around him. He had people pushing him and rushing him. So he may not have just he just human at the end of the day. But because I love the CD so much, I was like, well, wait a minute, he have to be an asshole about it. But I had to think, you don't know these people's day. Just because you like the music, you like the talent, you like the whatever, but you don't know what they day to day look like. You don't know who is pushing them. You don't know what their financial stuff is. Also, you don't know what the fact that the more money you make, the more people you're responsible for, the more people looking to you. And also every day we're different. Now we're in the same party. Neo walks up, big old smile, sweet, kind, just nice. And he was very nice because I saw him and I just walked up. I said, "Hey, Neo, how you doing?" He said, "I'm doing good." He gives me a hug and everything. Then my friend Samiko walks up and he says, "Oh my God, you know Miko?" I said, "Yeah." He was like, "She used to be one of my background singers." And I was like, Tamika was like, "How have you been? What's been going on?" Chops it up. But he could have been having a better day. So stop comparing yourself to people you see around you, because you don't never know what the root cause of what's going on with them. Because some houses do. That's another thing. They are stop keeping up with the Joneses. This is real deal. Because a lot of times too, we have houses. We'll see a house that's perfect. It looks beautiful from the outside. Even like I even talk about like from my old primary care physician. Big old beautiful 7 acres, big old house sit on a lake and a pond. You know what I'm saying? I would see him, see his wife, and she'll be like, after me and her had a coming to Jesus meeting, just sweet to me out. I'd be like, "Hello, how you doing?" Da 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 da. But behind them doors, he was literally battering and abusing that woman. They was in there fighting. He got mug shots and everything. I said, "Lord have mercy." But y'all know I got a new primary care physician because I don't deal with no man who hit women. That's just one of my hard stops. I don't believe in women who hit men, and I don't believe in men who hit women. If you can't keep your hands to yourself, cut them off. Do us all a favor, because everybody ain't gonna let you hit them. So instead of a lot of these houses, they look perfect on the outside, but it could be chaos. It could be an episode of horror going on inside of there, figuratively, or even actually. So focus on your own journey, your own growth, your own healing, your own happiness. Because let's guess what? Nobody's gonna do it for you. You know why? Because they're too busy focusing on their own journey, their own growth, their own healing, their own happiness. So there's no room for you. That's the reason why when you merge your life with somebody, they need to contribute to your happiness. Oh, I need somebody who make me happy. If you say that, you need to work on yourself. You need to be able to make your own self happy. When I tell you, and it's probably too because I was raised as an only child, just me and my mama, but I enjoy my own company. I can literally sit up in here with me for days and be unbothered because I actually enjoy being around me. But it's also okay for you to admit I have a problem. It's okay for you to say I'm not okay. It's okay to say you need help. And it's okay to seek help. That's why I tell y'all, use them copays if you got that good job with some insurance, or if you like me, or you got some just your self-employed insurance. Use it. And I want you to break change into small, doable steps. A lot of times we try to do cold turkey. I used to have, when I used to go to the grocery store, I have at least 4 or 5 things that's sweet. That's my Achilles heel. I broke it down to two. I will only have 2 things that's sweet in the cart. Now I'm down to one, and I'm working on to get it to where when I go to the grocery store, I will not put anything sweet in my buggy. Because a lot of stuff is out of sight, out of mind. Also, if it means you got to do some whole effort, you're not going to do it. I'm not going to just wake up, go to that door, walk way down that hall, press the button, wait on the elevator, go down to the car, get in the car, crank the car up, go out, then push the button to try to get out the gates, then go out, then try to fight the traffic because it's hard to get a left turn. Then I gotta drive all the way to the store, then get a park just to go get some sweet. I'm not gonna do all that. So if it's not in here, it's no temptation. So break into break your change into small doable steps. Don't expect overnight shifts. Reduce gradually and practice consistently and celebrate your progress. Your self doubt will not disappear in a day. But each time you choose self worth over fear, you'll build a stronger foundation. I need y'all to understand that your life is a book, and every morning you get a blank page. Yesterday's chapter has already been written. Today, use some fresh ink. It's waiting on you. Write your new chapter. That's why it's very important that you wake up every day and script and say something good. Start off with gratitude, and then next say something nice to yourself. No one else can live this life for you. No one else can speak your words, dream your dreams, or walk in your shoes. Only you can do it. Release the fear, release the doubt, step boldly into the unknown. Because it may be some great things in there. It may be some great things in there. Because the rest of your story is still unwritten. Every day that you wake up, you get to write a new chapter. Open your arms wide and let the light shine in. That's why I love the sunrise. But right now it's raining. When I get off of this call, I'm going to walk outside. I'm going to walk in my living room, and I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to sit in that chair, and I'm going to watch that rain, because I have floor to ceiling windows, when it comes down, it looks like it's crying. God is cleansing the day right now. And I'm going to sit over there in quiet and bask in it. So let rain wash away your old doubts and usher in new growth. You are free to reinvent yourself. I don't care what nobody say you used to be. You're free to reinvent yourself. You're free to write your new story. What do y'all think about a remix of a song, or a sequel? Bad Boys 1 is great. Fast and the Furious, the first one is cool, but them last ones, they gotten better technology. AI is better. All of the things is better. It's okay for you to grow. It's okay for you to have a sequel. It's okay for you to have a part 2, a part 3, a part 4. This week, I dare you to live like the pen is in your hand, because it is. Write the new chapter. It's time for us to do our affirmations. I release self-doubt that was never mine to carry. I choose comparison for myself and others, but I protect my worth at all costs. My self worth is my ceiling, and I choose to raise it higher and higher every day. I attract better love, better people, better opportunity, and better days. I normalize high self worth until it becomes my truth. I am valuable, I am worthy, and I am priceless. I am worthy of all the love, success, and abundance that the universe has to offer. Everything I desire is already on its way to me. I trust the process and allow the universe to bring to me all that I desire. Each day, I am becoming more aligned with my highest good. I am the author of my story, and my next chapter will be greater than the last. I release my fear and I write my future in bold, beautiful strokes. I no longer shrink myself, I expand into the fullest of who I am. My worth is unquestionable, my vision is unshakable, and my power is unstoppable. I am becoming more confident, more courageous, and more abundant each day. I am not defined by my past. I am defined by my future that I create. My story is being written, and it is a masterpiece in process. Y'all can do this. Command your day. This is your best day, and this is the best version of you. You're going to be better today than you were yesterday. Amen.